better now. And actually, yesterday I have a humidifier that I ordered on Amazon that came, which I think is helping, um, because it's winter time in Canada right now, and the air is pretty dry. So yeah, that's partly why the haven't had a lesson in a while.
It got better now.
It's better, yeah. It comes and goes, but it's been better. Like I feel great right now. I feel great, um, and I would just like to. I know I said it before, but I would like to officially congratulate you on your increased FIDE rating, new peak. That's good. That's 2416. Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do you have another tournament scheduled?
Not really. There's not much going on during January in Argentina in general. There are a couple of tournaments in Buenos Aires.
Hmm.
One of them, I thought one of them, the one that I wanted to play, was going to be suspended because of this um, new wave of Omicron.
Omicron, yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to be suspended, and then apparently they're going to hold the tournament.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah, but I'm already not signed in, and it's just too close to this date, so yeah, I'm not going to play it.
well,
Uh,
because you want more preparation time, or
Not really, but it's a long trip. It's in Buenos Aires. I'm
oh,
1,000 kilometers away.
oh,
Yeah,
really?
it's
Wow, wow.
yeah, and it's a long tournament. It's like 10 days.
Yeah, Argentina is
So
very like narrow and tall, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
like
So okay, you're in the
from
you're
north
in the
to
southern
south.
part.
Yeah, I'm going to say ballpark figure, but from north to south, there are like 4,000 kilometers.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe I'm saying something completely. Maybe I go back to elementary school if someone hears me, but I think it's yeah ballpark 4,000
wow,
kilometers.
that's crazy. So do you have anything closer to you that you might go to, like a
Uh,
tournament?
Not in these dates. Maybe from March, February, March onwards. Maybe. Yeah, there are some tournaments in my region. Maybe 100, 500 kilometers away.
Hopefully a
Um,
stronger one, right? Because you only had one real competitor in that last one you played in.
um, well, yeah. In the last one I played, um, he was. I mean, of course, my opponent, so to speak, was the clear favorite. His time
I don't know,
was
clear favorite, maybe favorite. I wouldn't say clear favorite.
well, he's a GM and he's close to 2,600. So yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, but you drew him, so I think my point stands.
yeah, I was happy. I was really
Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
uh, but yeah, I want to play something this year. I hope the COVID stuff it just goes
Hopefully
away
another like
because
IM, something where there's an IM norm eligible. We got to get you your second one.
yeah, that's the hard thing to get. There are not that many tournaments that award international master norms. Yeah.
Well, a lot more there than here, I can tell you. In Canada, yeah,
Really?
good. Yeah, because you need what, three different countries?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, three.
Canada, we have the US, we only have one other country. So, and there's no strong players in Canada. So if you're Canadian, you want to go for an IM title or GM title, you got to go to Europe. And even if you're American, same thing. There's almost nothing around here because of that
Oh,
FIDE
only the
requirement.
yeah, it has to be an international tournament, and yeah, even then, oh, that's rough. Yeah, we have players from Uruguay, Venezuela,
Yeah, I
Argentina,
know.
of
That's what
course.
I mean. So it's actually
Yeah,
similar to Europe. Like you're all close together. So it's not as bad
yeah,
as
getting
in
the
North
flights is
in
not the biggest problem. Yeah,
yeah, North America is the
that's
worst, or Australia is probably probably bad. Yeah, Australia's got it the worst probably. Yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Congrats again on that. I know it's not easy gaining rating. Once you're in the 2400s, it's really tough.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because I was playing the last round and I had a
Oh,
really sketchy position. I was close to losing, and that would have erased all my rating gain during the tournament. if I had lost that last game, I would have just it would have just ruined the tournament for me.
What color were you?
I was playing black. I don't know
Oh.
if the game is on database because I think they didn't upload it. But I really suffered in that last round.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how it goes. What are you gonna do? I saw that you keep hitting new heights. That's awesome.
Yeah, but mostly in rapid. I've been, my blitz has plateaued. I'm repairing my classical. Like my classical is starting to repair itself. I think rapid is a bit inflated on Lichess lately. Because like a lot of my opponents that I've played don't seem too difficult. Like even if they're like 2100 or 2200. But yeah, I am slowly getting a few peaks here and there. I'm still working at it. Like I haven't given up yet. I'm I know like you probably get a lot of students that, especially like adult students, adult improvers that they say they're serious, but they tend to kind of quit. But no, I'm still here.
Well, as I told you, because I told you this, you're doing great. You've come a long way. Maybe you don't notice because, yeah, there are times when you plateau. Necessarily, it happens to everyone. But you've come a long way. You improved a lot. It's about the work you put in. I mean, as you said, I have some adult improvers. Normally, at least in my case, they're the ones that take it more seriously, and that's a big advantage. Because in the end, it's about that. It's about the work you put in, and the fact that you're serious about it is what's going to make you improve. More or less doesn't matter. You're going to steadily go up in the long run. So yeah, don't lose faith. I mean, of course, there are going to be times when you don't improve. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're studying 6 hours a day. There are going to be lapses of time where you just go down. It's kind of inevitable. We have to endure those times, and then when we hit new peaks, appreciate that it's how it works.
Yeah, I just to give you an update on what I've been doing. So I've been doing my regular routine of, playing. I've been focusing on longer time controls, analyzing. Of course, doing my ridiculous opening prep. Like that's, I still think I do that on like a near titled player level. Like the amount of work I put into it. I've been getting back into reading as well. I took a long break from Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual, but more recently I got back into it. And have really been enjoying it. Like when I first started doing it, like the pawn chapters like were brutal, like really brutal, like ridiculous. And and I'm reading not just the blue sections, but the whole book and the revised, like the fifth edition, I think it is. But once I got past that pawn section, it actually it got really interesting, and I was really enjoying it. There's still a lot of dry areas. But like getting into like the bishop section, it was really interesting. Like I was surprised, for example, that I always just thought that it was an automatic easy draw, like the opposite colored rook pawn, the opposite colored bishop and rook. I always thought that but there's some tricky stuff in there if you're not careful. There's some tricky things. So which
like games where you push it out of the corner, you don't let the king come. Yeah, it's
Like you put it on like h6, like bishop h6. There's and then like with so getting into the minor piece section was pretty interesting. I also I think it's a pretty good book. I've been reading Chess Structures. Have you read that?
No.
Have you heard of it?
Whom? Chess Structures. By?
I think it's a bit newer, like 2016. Let me just load up. There were a few recommendations. It's really, really good. I think you would love it. Like to recommend to your students. It is by I have it open right here. Oh, Mauricio Flores Rios.
Yeah, I mean, it rings a bell, I have to say. I haven't read it, but the title and the author, I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's all about pawn structures. So there's a chapter on the Isolani hanging pawns, and then the Kirokan formations, Carlsbad formation, Stonewall, Najdorf type 1, Najdorf type 2, Hedgehog, Maroczy bind, all of that, all of the different structures. And then he talks about what the goals are in each one and what you should be trying to do. Like white wants to put a knight on e5 and attack on the king side. Black wants to do a minority attack, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I've been reading that. And then also I've been reading, for the first time, I'm trying Jacob Agard. Yeah, the Grandmaster preparation, the positional one. It's okay so far. I think it might be a bit too tough for me.
Yeah, I mean, the books you mentioned in general, I mean, the endgame manual is brutal.
Yeah.
Exercises are tough. They are tough for me. I mean, I don't even solve all of them correctly. The Agard manuals, all of them are tough. I mean, it's targeted just strong players.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, because if you enjoy it and you're not discouraged when you don't get an exercise right, it's okay. I mean, when you said that you're really enjoying it, I think that's the key. If it's really attracting you and if it's catching your attention, the book is right for you. Doesn't matter if it's a bit over your head or anything.
Yeah, like what I really like about Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual is I personally learned very well in when the author is very structured in his approach and also builds upon previous my dog, yeah, still wearing the cone. Yeah. When you build upon previous lessons, and also when you're very, very detailed and concrete in the explanations. So for me, that like Dvoretsky seems to write in that manner. So that's really helpful for me. Yeah. And then more recently, I started doing a lot of puzzles for the first time on Lichess, which I've never done before, really. I've done Woodpecker, but I've done very few puzzles because I hated them. I don't really like puzzles. But more recently, I just started to challenge myself to see how high I could get. And I got to 2550 just last week on Lichess, like working very hard. Like I'll spend, actually just a couple of days ago, I spent 2 hours just on puzzles. I did 7 puzzles in 2 hours. I got them all right, but I spent about like 12 minutes per puzzle. I spend as long as I take until I get it. And I think that's been helpful. I think that's been helping me.
That's probably the thing that's going to help you the most. I mean, it's the most intense work you can do. You might notice it. At least it happens to me when you dedicate 2 full hours to solve puzzles. It's really grueling. I end up tired.
Yeah.
Tense. But it's so useful. I mean, you're problem solving as you would be during a game, and you hone your tactical skills, which is something that, well, you're going to need.
And it feels really good when you finally solve it, right? You get that high. Yeah.
I can deal with this. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Because so all of a sudden you see it, and then that eureka moment, especially after spending so long on it. Yeah, so I've been doing that lately, and I'll try to continue with it. But it's kind of funny. I've been playing chess now 3.5 years as an adult, and I've not really done puzzles before. I've done like a few here and a few there, but this is actually the first time that I actually. It's pretty
That's
late, right?
promising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
most
because
people, a lot of people like puzzles, and a lot of players um, do have done a lot of puzzles from the very beginning. But I'm kind of
yes.
a late starter.
Yeah, I mean, I used to solve lots of them when I started,
Mm.
especially. I worked with the Laszlo book.
Yeah,
uh,
the
I might
thousand.
have done all the puzzles in that one,
Mm.
at least the ones that were within my reach. um, and yeah, yeah, it's kind of the secret of making progress too, because you just internalize all these patterns um, through repetition, just like the woodpecker, I guess.
Mm.
um, I chose a game because you showed this on a stream.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, a nice classical win, and yeah, it was a very
oh,
nice classical win.
oh, this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was interested in this one because I could see all your thought process throughout the game.
Oh, oh.
Yeah,
You watched it?
yeah, I watched the
Okay.
video.
Okay.
I also watched a video where you solved some puzzles and you hit
Oh.
the high at 24 something
Mm.
the time. Yeah, I watched some videos to, well, to listen to how you,
My thought
uh,
process. Yeah.
yeah, how you were elaborating on the position.
Mm.
Um, yeah, this game was really interesting. Your opponent played a very regular
Yeah.
setup. Um, yeah, this is, I mean, it's not bad, but you can easily overdo it. um, Knight C6 is an interesting decision already in the sense that you have to acknowledge the fact that he can play d4, and if he gets to play d5 himself, um, he might get some advantage. What were you planning to do here?
Yeah,
Because yeah,
I
this one.
was. My plan was CD here. C takes D4. I
Mhm.
didn't think beyond that. I thought I would just play this, and I thought it would be good enough. Like I might just play E6 here, or I thought he might be overextending if he tries to push forward with D5.
He probably isn't. I mean, it looks like free space at this point. E6 also kind of
Mm.
leaves your bishop in. I mean, after d5, knight c1, knight c3, the knight is also not so well placed. I mean, e5 is kind of unstable. It's not like it's going to stay there forever. Um, Maybe you have to consider d5. I don't know how it works here exactly, but it really looks like um, a Karo Khan Panov attack
Mm, like
after
a
he takes
exchange,
f6.
or yeah.
Yeah. Though you should have the knight on f6 instead of the knight on c6. So I'm not entirely sure how this works. Uh, I guess the critical thing would be to take and play knight f3, but well, this is opening stuff already. Um, so yeah, it has to be considered at least. um, so a6, but the opponent had other things in mind. A3. Um, what kind of pawn structure, talking about structures, what do you think he's aiming for? What structure is this?
Well, I think I said during the game that it resembled a reverse can, uh, right? It looks like a reverse can, which um, I mean, at least for white, it does. Um, so that was the first thing that came out to me. Now, obviously, the very first thing I look at or consider when he plays a3 is I'm like, okay, b4. Is he trying to play b4? Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, that was really. Otherwise, I don't understand why he played a3 unless he was trying to have some type of prophylaxis so that I don't play knight b4. But it seemed strange. I thought even if he plays b4, I can just take, and it just I don't know. It to me it seemed like a waste of a move. I didn't see any benefit of it.
Yeah, I think what you said first makes the most sense, in the sense that he's probably aiming for some Sicilian with reverse colors, probably a hedgehog structure. I mean, he's going to wait for you to play d5, he's going to take, he's going to put the pawns on d3 and b3, the queen on c2, and yeah, he's going to get the hedgehog. Which is alright, but a3 is so unnecessary at this point. I don't know, at least if you're not going to play d4, which is probably the best move, at least play knight f3, I don't know, or knight c3. But a3 at this point doesn't make much sense. It gives you a lot of options. You play g6, which is totally fine, I guess. Knight c3, g7, queen c2.
Oh yeah, this decision of putting the knight on e7, that was not an easy decision. And if you remember during the video, I talked about, because in one of our very first lessons, it might have been our first lesson. We looked at a tournament game of mine, and it was about putting the pawns on e6 and g6, and you were telling me how it creates basically. It depends like what color you are and so forth, but it creates these weaknesses here. And you told me, and I never forgot that, but you told me that like generally you want to play either g6 or e6. Often you don't want to play both of them.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible here because I don't see a way in which he can exploit it. You have to consider that as white, yeah, he gets some. He gets a chance to make a lot of moves like this, and it's all right. But it's not like he has the development to actually put pressure immediately there, because he chose a system that's kind of slow. He falls behind the development, so I guess this is okay too. But knight f6 is so natural that I don't see a good reason to not to play knight f6 right
Yeah,
now.
that's what. Yeah, I remember the computer liked that. My reasoning was I thought I wanted to keep direct control of d4 and keep that open immediately, so that I don't have to move this knight. That was really kind of it. I thought it was kind of it was just kind of nice to have the bishop open, and it also makes it harder for white to develop his bishop, just because my bishop's already staring it down.
Yeah, no, it's a valid alternative. I
It
think
was.
you can get away with it.
I coin flip on it. I was 50-50. I could have gone either way, knight f6 or e6. It was a tough decision.
Yeah, it's still reasonable. I don't see anything really wrong with it.
Okay.
He played d3, which is all right. I mean, he needs to play this ASAP. Knight g7.
I was committed now because I played e6, so I had to follow through with it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. This knight goes here now. Yeah. But this one, I was interested in your comment. You said that looks like the one wasn't dangerous. That looks scary.
I'm scared of everything. I'm the most scared player you'll meet.
That's so pessimistic. I thought this is the opposite of scary.
I know, but it's so slow that it's scary though. I mean, it's such a weird, slow, passive move that it makes me nervous. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sure what he's up to. If he plays a normal move, I know what his intentions are. So I'm like, what's he doing this? Is it they want to play g4 and some weird like f4, some weird pawn storm? I wasn't truly scared of it, but I was suspicious is the word. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was interested in this because you made some other kind of pessimistic remarks. And that tends to give you a view on the position that might scare you out of things that you might be able to get away with. For example, well, h3 is clearly not the move. I mean, this is damaging white's position. He went too far. A3,
Yeah,
B3,
yeah.
queen c2. These are reasonable in the context that you finish development and you get a hedgehog. But h3 might be a bit too much
Yeah,
already.
almost disrespectful, right?
Yeah, and you should welcome this. I mean, of course, you should be suspicious, but you should take this move as what it is. It's a waste of a tempo, and it has nothing to do with the position, which is great for you. I mean, positionally, you have to welcome this, embrace the chance, and actually think, okay,
Okay.
might be able to exploit this.
Yeah, like just go full steam forward with like d5.
Yeah, D5 is something to really consider right now because D4 is coming quickly and he might not be prepared to deal with this like right now. I mean, all his pieces are in. um, your pieces are optimally placed. I really like your position here. Um, I didn't see that you consider. I don't think you
I
consider
didn't
D5.
know. It's really hard for me when I'm able to castle, to not castle. It's such a safe move.
Oh, sure. I mean, and it's not like you're wasting a chance or anything. I think you're better in any case, and you can play d5 move later. But h3 is a move that, yeah, it has to make you suspicious, but in a good way. You should think right now, he's yeah, he's going too far.
I give my opponents too much credit.
Yeah, yeah. You might think, oh, he's conjuring up some crazy, ingenious attack, and sometimes it's just
A bad move.
a positional mistake. Yeah, sometimes normally it's just a positional mistake. If it's a move that seems way off the mark for you, unless your opponent is really strong, you have to suspect that he might just be making a positional mistake. I think it's definitely the case here. D5 looks um, yeah, I'm not liking his position. This is really annoying. Um, so you castle, which is totally fine. I have nothing against this. Well, I'm sorry. Just to recap, uh, what did you think he would do run here? Because d5 and d4 is powerful thing to face for him.
Sorry, what D5
Oh,
D4?
yeah, what do you think he should do?
Oh, what? Well, if I'm white, I mean, I'm hating my lack of development. I don't like that my king's in the center. I mean, if it was a bullet game, I'm probably playing knight f3 without thinking about it. Um, I guess completing his little fianchetto might make some sense. He's got the queen on c2 protecting it. So yeah, so bishop b2, knight f3, and possibly, well, he can't play d4. So those are probably the primary moves. Knight f3, bishop b2. Nothing else really calls out to me.
Yeah, makes sense. Bishop b2 is the go-to move here. I mean, you put the bishop on the same diagonal, you don't have any problems on the a1, h8 diagonal. Uh, though this is something he needs to consider. I mean, when you play in this kind of structure, if you have a bishop on b2 and your opponent puts a pawn on d4, that bishop is basically dead. And that's a big problem White needs to start thinking about right now. Because if you manage to play d4, I don't know what is he going to do with this bishop. Um, Consider that in that case, you probably want to play b4 yourself at some point, but you already played a3, b3. It really looks like it's taking a lot of time for White. He might just be crushed under your space dominance after d5 and d4. So bishop b2 makes sense, and some calculations maybe were in order. What happens if d5? You love to play d5, but there is a very concrete reason why you can't play.
Well, my first consideration is knight takes d5. Um,
X.
So if I take on b2, he can just take queen takes b2, I think, and he's hitting my rook on h8. But I'm just wondering where is his. Well, even that alone is good enough because he's traded my kingside bishop, my kingside fiend shadowed bishop.
Material wise, he's winning a pawn. If you play d5,
Oh, sorry. Yes, yeah.
yeah, he wins a pawn now, well, of course.
But even if he
But
doesn't win a pawn, I think that's still beneficial for black, right? Because he gets to trade off those bishops.
yeah, but the pawn is a pawn,
Yeah.
and you have to add to that the weaknesses. So this is really bad for black. You can even, I think you can take with the pawn, and then whatever black takes with on d5, you still have black takes d. So it's an option. So against, I mean, bishop b2 was kind of crucial to deal with this. After you castle, so the bishop is not hanging there anymore. Now knight e4. This is the first thing I thought about when I saw the game, and I don't know, it seems to make sense. You can play these seats and everything is fine. You're not really suffering here. In any case of exchanges and a check, you can just play e5. And at some point, you might want to play a5 and kick the knight out, b6, bishop b7. You're really solid. But White is seeing the game. He didn't let you conquer space. I mean, this was a very concrete variation that needed to be taken seriously by White, because it's the way of dealing with d5, d4. h3, well, it's not allowing for that. You castle, bishop b2, and d5. The move comes in time, and he's in trouble. I mean, I know it sounds like a lot, but he's in real trouble now. He played d3, and here you took a really long time for your next move. I don't know if you remember what you were thinking about.
I don't, and I'm not looking at it right now, but maybe you can hide the moves in the study.
Oh, okay.
I'm not looking at it, but just so I don't get tempted. Okay, what was I thinking here? Oops. You have to get back to that position.
I'll go back to.
Okay, there we go. I was probably thinking, like, do I want to close it with d4? I mean, that's the most obvious decision here. Yeah, so I can't remember what I did. Let me think, because like d4 e4 would. Oh wait, no, yeah, I probably did play d4 because if he moves the knight, well, I'm giving him a backwards pawn, and his f pawn's missing, and that, I mean, that has to be good for me. And if he takes, then well, I get my knight on a beautiful d4 square. So I probably played d4 here. It makes the most sense to me because he doesn't have a good response.
Well, this was a very interesting moment in the game. You thought a long time about d4. You ended up
rook e8. Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, this is the typical. I don't know if you read.
Sorry. I think I was scared of knight e4. That's what it was.
Yeah. You went about calculating knight e4 for some time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read Think like a Grandmaster.
I've read like the first chapter, and then that was enough for me.
Did you see the introduction? I mean, it's just really
fun. Oh, yes, yeah. Where you spend all your time calculating. You calculate for a long time, and then at the last possible second, you just make some other move.
Yeah, and you go back and forth.
Yeah.
You calculate the same line like 3 times. Well, that's exactly what you did in this position. And one of the problems was that, I mean, the d4 is clearly a very important move. It's the move that should attract your attention, and it did. I mean, positionally, it's ideal. You're shutting this bishop off. You're conquering a lot of space. Um, this bishop doesn't make any sense on b2 anymore. It's his practically his only developed piece, and the others are all in their initial squares, and this one is looking really bad. You're going to have an enhanced Benoni as black, which is, well, a lot.
I,
A
I
lot for.
I think I played this after Rookie Gate. I think I then got brave and then I played D4, which worked out because
You
I.
got more moves. You played
Oh, okay.
B6. What I found really interesting was that you thought about D4, okay, 94, and then you started considering different stuff, went back and forth about B6. At some point, you mentioned I might be able even to play F5 here, but then you didn't elaborate on that idea. What do you think? F5 works tactically?
Yeah, well, it ended up working later on. I basically played this little maneuver of D4 F5 later on. Um,
Yeah, but in a slightly different context, because you might be able to do without B6. You were really cautious. You played B6, you
yeah,
played
yeah.
D4 only, then you played F5.
I'm a
And
very
okay,
yeah.
in a mess.
That's just my style. I don't take any chances. Like I'm very very careful and scared player. Like I'm it's just my style. Like I try to play like I'm just a very solid,
Yeah,
careful.
and that's something we have to think about because that style, so to speak, is what sometimes makes you lose on some opportunities. You're still a lot better in this position, but sometimes if your opponent gives you the chance to just punish him, uh, then you should do it. You should go ahead and bring the hammer down because he's asking for it. In this position, he's asking to be destroyed, basically. Um, F5 was really interesting, and you didn't.
I didn't pursue it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the main issue because you said, "Oh, my
Oh right,
C5
yeah, and then
moves,"
I
and
ended it there at the
yeah,
end.
and it's really suspicious. His king is still in the center. You're kicking him around. So what happens now if knight takes
Oh, that and
c5?
that's why I played B6, right? That's why I played B6 first. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So you said what happens if he takes on C5?
yeah.
Yeah. So um, I'm just looking at Queen A5, B5, and I guess Knight takes B5, and if Queen D2, then I might be able to play Knight takes D3, and then I can go Queen takes C5.
Knight takes d3, the knight is defending d3. That's the problem. His knight is on c5 still.
Oh right, yeah, and my knight's not even okay. Sorry. So let me look at this. So knight takes so F5, knight takes C5, Queen A5, B5.
Before
Oh, sorry, B4. Yeah,
knight takes
yeah.
or
If
c4
knight takes
takes.
B4, I'm just also worried about stuff like Queen D2 there. Yeah,
That might be the main try for white.
yeah.
Because a takes, queen takes with check, you recover the piece on c5, looks like too much. Should be doing great there.
So Queen D2. Um, well, I guess I just take the knight, but I'm down a pawn. But then I guess yeah. So then Queen takes C5, and then let's say what A takes B4. I'm still down a
You
pawn.
have something better. Queen d2, there are some edge rays there. between the queen on a5 and the king on e1. You have, yeah, you win
Oh, bishop
materially.
takes b2? No, wait.
No, I'm talking about the position where he
Yeah.
plays
Yeah.
queen d2.
Mm-hmm.
It's black to play and win material essentially after queen d2.
Okay, let me do it again. So f5, knight takes c5, queen a5, b4, knight takes b4, queen d2.
You tried one discover.
Oh,
check.
can I not just can I not? Okay. So there's a fork on c2.
Yes. Nice to check. You have to keep track of the count. He only won this pawn. You're taking here. I mean, king d1, queen takes queen check, king takes d2, knight takes a1. You're actually winning. Yeah, you're winning more than just the exchange, because after bishop takes, you have pawn takes with check, and you even win the bishop.
Yeah,
So
and the knight is still hanging on c5.
yeah, at any point you're going to play b6. This is, yeah, completely crashing apparently.
So maybe like I should have at least given it like a 5-second thought at least, because after I saw c5, like after f5, and I saw that he's attacking c5, I stopped calculating, shut the doors there.
You're not getting my pawn.
Yeah, that's why I played b6, because then I still wanted to play this f5, like d4 f5 idea.
I guess this variation, I mean, the only thing that's left for white is to take everything on b4, but this is awful. I mean, queen takes,
and he's and he's his king side is undeveloped.
Yeah, this is too much. Knight f3, d takes. Yeah, you're threatening d takes c3 also. So yeah, this should be great for you. Yeah, I mean, rook e8 is not a terrible move. You're still much better, but yeah, it's these kind of opportunities that, I mean, I have nothing against how you played in the game, but the reasoning behind, I might be able to play f5 and not pursue the variation and try to calculate it to the end. That's what's sometimes going to stop you finding really strong continuation. In fact, here he probably has to go back. I don't know, d2, g3, but this is just crashing. You're killing him here. His pieces don't even.
Yeah, that'll be what, 3 or 4 knight moves now in the opening.
Well, usually when you get such a pawn center, you're lagging behind the development. Here you have the center and development, so it's just way too much. So rook e8. I don't fully understand the purpose of rook e8 though. You played it very quickly and you didn't elaborate much on it.
I think part of it was this Kotov idea again, because if you look at the time situation, my opponent was playing very quickly. And that might explain some of his moves. That might be his style, where he just plays really quick and gets his opponent in time trouble by playing this kind of, hedgehoggy type position. And I think I had calculated d4 for a while, and again this think like a grandmaster idea of just feeling the pressure of, because I got down to, once I played it, right, I was down to 21 minutes, almost a third of my starting time gone already. So I thought, okay, just play a move, because there's no increment. This was 30 plus 0. And I figured, okay, well, the e file probably will open up at some point. So, and he hasn't castled, and I highly doubt he's going to castle queenside. So I thought, okay, rook on e8, let's punish that king. That was kind of my thinking.
Okay, yeah, well, it makes sense. There's also b6, which is a move you're going to make anyway. Makes sense too. Now his pieces are really clumsy. I don't know what the knight put here.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, they're stepping all over each other. D4 might still be an option, but B6 is also right. He's not in time to deal with D4 in any case. G4, weakening more than anything, I guess. D4, very well played. I like it. Bye-bye, this bishop doesn't participate anymore. Knight E4, F5. And he went back. And now you're starting to just roll the pawns over him. I think bishop B7 maybe.
I might be wrong. I think I had an opportunity here to go DE even here.
D takes. This is something to consider. D takes. F takes.
Oh, you know why? Because I win a pawn. I missed this. Yeah, I remember looking at it with Stockfish. Yeah. I missed that. And that one, I 100% regret that, because that was definitely seeable. And if I had seen that, I'm 100% playing that. Like, I wouldn't hesitate.
Yeah, no discoveries, because this comes with check even. So yeah. Yeah, bishop b7 also looks quite strong. I mean, you can play it first, because bishop g2, you have this stuff, which is really annoying. I mean, he loses his light square bishop, which would really hurt him. That's also an option. e5 is maybe not the most accurate, but you're doing so well here that it really doesn't matter. G takes f5 is a really bad move, but this is the refutation you found. I really love that you saw this. Because you could have easily just taken back with a piece, a pound, whatever.
Well, that was the first, if you remember the video, that was the first consideration. I mean, it's the most obvious consideration. And I even gave a quick consideration. Hey, maybe I'll take it with the G pawn, because sometimes that's playable. But then I was deciding, okay, to go do it with the bishop or the knight. But then I thought, maybe I can get more out of the position. And that's when I saw D takes E.
I really like that there was no automatic recapture on F5, which is really hard to refrain from. It's so easy to just take back.
Oh, I'm very, that's something that I'm good at, though, is because that's the perfectionist in me. So because I won't automatically retake for sure. I try to find the best move, and oftentimes that's one of my downsides, because I spend too much time. I get into time trouble for that reason. But here it worked out.
Yeah, here it's just awesome. If he takes, there's no way to defend the pawn, which is pretty remarkable. So D takes E3, knight F3,
and that was a really tough choice here. If I take on F2 or knight takes F5.
Yeah, that's a perfection.
Yeah.
Because both are crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even a knight is coming to D4, practically forcing him to open another file, the E file. Now the rook here makes a lot of sense. So yeah, this is completely crashing already. You're just putting a knight on D4 at some point, and that's probably going to be... I'm not even sure if you actually need to take on F5, or if you could play knight D4 and then outdo this king. But it's not necessary. You played well. Knight takes, bishop H4. This was kind of an odd move.
Yeah, I remember the computer, Stockfish didn't like it very much. The funny thing is, it was so odd. Like, I didn't even... I mean, I have so many good moves, so it's kind of tough. But the funny thing is, all my attention went to that move, knight h4. I didn't even consider anything else. Part of it was because I was slightly low on time. I mean, not really, but and I thought simplification here would actually favor me, because my queen, not only do I trade a piece here, but my queen becomes super active, and he has an exposed king. So that was my thinking. That was my thinking behind it. And I also opened up the F file for my rook. I thought it was
this
good
king
enough to
is
just play quickly.
yeah. This king is permanently weak. At some point, you're going to put an knight on d4. You're going to even open the file, and that king is going nowhere. It has no pawn cover. Your pawn up. It's just too much. He's lost anyway. I think it's more natural, I don't know, to play bishop b7 maybe, or something that actually allows you to play the knight to d4. But this is all right too. I see no problem with this. Rook knight g3 is. Well, I don't know what to make of it, but he's in trouble already. Rook f8, 94, and now you play 94. That's cool. He gets to exchange his ugly bishop, but you're just crashing through, so this is perfectly fine. At some point here, here you didn't see that he was actually threatening your queen, so you didn't have the time to take. Now the perfectionist in you set in, and you spend quite some time in the next few moves. I mean, anything goes, because you play bishop b7, bishop h6 right now is just, yeah, it's crashing. No one's going to be able to take care of this battery, unfortunately for black, but for white. But bishop b7 is strong too. What happens if queen d2? And try to fight against this.
I win the bishop. Queen f2. Sorry. No, sorry. So queen d2. I think I could go rook takes f3, and then king takes f3, and then take on e4.
Excellent. Yeah, you have rook takes f3. There's also bishop takes e4 because he can't take with the bishop. So if pawn takes, queen takes, and yeah, something's falling.
Yeah, I feel like my tactics are a little bit stronger ever since like doing these puzzles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great because you need them at this point. You have a huge position advantage. You have to press it home. Yeah, just it's a tough game. You can be winning by a lot, and then suddenly it's not so easy, and then you're lost. So yeah, it's good that you're practicing. Rook af1. You had some doubts here. This was an interesting position because this is how perfectionism can actually hurt you, because you saw bishop h6, but you still didn't play it right away. Because you were kind of scared and that he might actually defend this after knight f6 and bishop takes b7. And you went really far calculating something. Yeah, while there's only one thing to think about here. If I don't play bishop h6, he's the one who's going to play queen d2, and then what? That's the main problem. He might even be able to defend, at least for some time. And bishop h6 is just allowing you to play queen e3, so this can't be right for white. He ended up playing, I don't know, king d1, but you calculated knight f6 here. What do you think of this variation? How does it go?
Knight f6. Well, probably rook takes f6, bishop takes b7, and I guess queen e3, king d1. That's probably what I calculated in the game.
Yeah, it was something like that. You have these three pieces, the queen on e3, the rook on f6, the bishop on h6. all around this poor king, the king is on d1, the queen is tied down to the defense of these two squares because you have that huge battery. You shouldn't be fooled by the fact that there are opposite color bishops. It has nothing to do with this. Actually, it's helping you because normally the side that's attacking has a huge advantage if the bishop, if there's such a big difference in the position of the bishops. Just keep calculating normal moves.
I'm wondering about rook. Oh no, rook d8 isn't possible because of bishop d5.
Yeah, excellent. And then
wait a second. No, he's there. Okay, so let me just do it again. So knight f6, rook takes f6, bishop takes b7. I'm wondering, is there anything better than... It's got to be queen e3. Queen e3, king d1. Yeah, I mean, I'm such...
You don't have checks, but you have so many pieces there. There's only one piece that's left for you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted rook d8 there, but he has bishop d5.
Remember that your rook is on f6.
Well,
in there. Because you played knight f6 and you took.
Yeah. I guess just rook af8. And we're threatening the trade. Maybe he... Well, yeah, his queen can't move. So maybe he goes rook e1.
Rook e1.
And then rook f7.
Rook f2. Well, you still have to consider rook takes.
Oh, I forgot about my queen there. Okay.
Yeah. You need to go, but
I've got. Well, I wonder if can I go. Yeah, so I'm thinking about the position where he's rook e1 right now. It's a little deep. It's a little deep. Rook e1. So. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's look at. Oh wait, I can't do that because his bishop's on b7. That's tough.
But if we get a sense of what the position looks like, is his king really suffering? It's basically dead. All your pieces are on it. You need to remove the queen from e3, but after you do it, you're going to threaten rook f2, which is a clear threat. It's huge. For example, let's say you go queen d4. I wouldn't even continue calculating that because the threat of rook f2, queen a1 check, that king isn't surviving. And his pieces are useless. I mean, the rook on h1 is not defending anything. You already control the f-file. There's no way he puts resistance there. This bishop is completely useless. The best he can do is just give a check and you play king g7. That's it. So yeah, that's basically crashing after queen d4. Yeah, I also consider rook e1 because, I don't know, rook takes f6, next move you're going to play rook f2. This queen can't even move. So yeah, just by normal means, you're destroying him basically. Knight f6, rook takes, bishop takes, and yet is the move I was interested in, and you didn't consider this during the game. I mean, here without playing king queen e3, it might be even stronger. I don't know, because now you threaten this and take, and if he takes rook takes, you immediately threaten rook f2. Yeah, this might be even easier because queen e3 can't really be prevented. So yeah, rook ef8 just ends it. But let's say you play queen e3 first, which is also perfectly reasonable. It looks like it should win. I don't know, all these pieces against this poor king that's completely locked in the center. You don't even need to go further than this. If rook e1, I can imagine that you might even win by going to g3, g5. It's just that this one is too tempting. Yeah, he's not going to be able to face this. Way too much. Queen a1, rook f2 right away. This bishop is funny. It looks great. It has a lot of scope, but that's basically it.
Yeah, well, his queen I think looks the funniest there. It's just defending the one pawn.
Yeah, it's doing what it can. But yeah, I was surprised that you spent a lot of time of this, because this is a move you absolutely have to make. I mean, queen e3 is such a powerful it's such a powerful square for the queen that
I think,
I don't know, unless he's winning material or something.
I think the issue was that I was down to 6 minutes or so, and I wanted to play that. Like I was looking at that. That was the key move. But yeah, knight f6 did scare me, and I didn't want to calculate. I didn't want to spend too much time calculating it, and then not even playing it, and so I decided to just play a more solid move.
Yeah, your hand was in the right place because you ended up playing bishop h6. But yeah, again, I feel like you were kind of pessimistic about the outcome of all of this, but you're really destroying him. You're playing powerful move.
It's just my personality.
Yeah, but here you can give yourself much more credit because you're completely crushing. And you did really well. I mean, you found all the tactics. Now you play rook takes f3, and you even mentioned that you saw this and this. So
yeah, I wanted better. Yeah.
And of course, well, he resigned. You were also thinking about stuff like this.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the pieces. Checks everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
I try to limit counterplay. I don't like to give my opponent any chances to come back. So I know it's kind of as you say, it's kind of a pessimistic way to play, but it's almost maybe almost like Petrosian, very like prophylactic and stopping my opponent's threats. Yeah. I take it too far. I understand. Sometimes, but it's just the way I play.
Yeah, this game showcases much more of your strengths than your weaknesses. But I was interested in it because it has a bit of both. While I was listening at your thought process, I noticed that it was really interesting because it really showed that you're working on your tactics. It really showed in this game. And yeah, I don't know, it was really interesting to listen at what you were actually thinking during the whole game. And yeah, I think that
and that's pretty much what goes on as my inner monologue too in my head. It's pretty much what I'm vocalizing when I'm streaming. So it's pretty dead on in what's going on in my head.
Yeah, that's invaluable. I mean, as a coach, that's ideal. It really makes my work easier. Yeah, to listen exactly to what you're thinking about. I mean, those videos are great for this. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's good that you're working harder on your tactics than ever because I
Well,
think
working
you're
period. As I said, I've done very other than woodpecker. I've done almost no work on my tactics, which yeah, I think it's not so common. Like,
yeah, and it's a good sign because there's nice room for improvement
yeah,
there.
there's a hidden yeah, like a hidden treasure chest to come, right? Because I haven't I haven't used that resource, that training resource of puzzles. But now
Yeah,
I like the challenge. I mean, that's kind of what is getting me into it now. I like the challenge of I mean, that's I like that just in regular games. I like to set a new personal best. Now I'm trying to do that in puzzles. So now I'm trying to hit 2551. Um, and I actually I think I can hit 2600 because the puzzles at like 2500, 2550, they're tough, but they're not like insurmountable. And a lot of them are still only like 3 or 4 moves. It's just that there's a lot of different paths that you have to consider. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement um, there.
yeah, yeah. No, they tend to become a bit more tricky, but
No,
yeah, they
of
are
course,
solvable. Yeah,
yeah, but that's what I mean. I
they
mean,
are.
I don't think I'm near the top of my capabilities yet, puzzle wise. So I like because again, like there's still like some of them are still somewhat easy still. So um, yeah,
No, for sure.
and
Yeah, you're
I
it's good.
don't I think we haven't had a lesson. Um, I mean, because it's been a while since we've had a lesson, but I actually had a tournament last month. No, November. I had a tournament. Yeah, the first tournament in about 2 years because of the pandemic. So I had a tournament in November. I was in the premier section, and I had to withdraw the fifth round because my dog ate my sandwich in the hotel, and I was too hungry to play the last round. Zipper,
Oh.
my dog Zipper. I had a sandwich. I had a sandwich, and I took Zipper with me, and he was in the hotel room, and yeah, he ate it, and I had no time to get other food before the round, and I didn't want to play the round and be hungry for 4 hours, so um, yeah, but that tournament I scored 1.5 out of 4. Yeah, and um, I unfortunately lost rating in that because the loss was against an unrated player, and he beat me, and then he lost to everyone else. So that was terrible for my rating. um, and anyways, I have another tournament on Friday. So Friday morning, I'm going to the mainland, um, and I've got a tournament. Yeah, so I have a tournament on Friday. It's a 5 round tournament, and then I have a tournament next month in February, which I'm traveling to as well. And then I have a tournament in April, which is the best tournament of the year, like a really, really nice tournament. And then I have a tournament in May. So I've got a lot of stuff coming up.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's going to do you a lot of good. I mean, it's going to help your game. At some point, you need to play over the board. I mean, training and playing on the internet is fantastic, but there's no substitute for over the board. I mean, there will come a point where you will notice that you need that experience to keep going forward. It's really beneficial when you end playing a game against someone. Let's say you play against a stronger opponent on the internet. First of all, it's a rapid game or it's a blitz game, so everyone wants to go to the next game. Um, in a tournament, if, for example, you lose against a stronger player, it's kind of normal that you get to analyze the game with him. For
Mhm.
example, the post-mortem is still a classic. Everyone respects that, as far as I know. Um, yeah, you get new insights about how
Yeah,
these people play. It's cool.
unfortunately, in this tournament, because of Omicron, there are a lot of very strict restrictions. One of them is there is going to be no Skittles room. I don't know if you use that term there, but the room where you can go over the game with your opponent after.
Yeah.
They're shutting that down. Everyone has to have, here we have a vaccine passport. So everyone has to be vaccinated. Masks, of course. And one of the most interesting rules, well, by the way, this morning they kicked out all of the kids 12 and under who haven't been vaccinated. But the most interesting one is you're not allowed to get up from the board the whole game. Not even to stand up. You can't even stand up and stretch your legs. So that's going to be brutal. Like 4 hours of sitting, and then two rounds per day. That'll be brutal. Yeah. But
never heard of.
Well, because they don't want people wandering around, and potentially, if someone, they want to limit the spread as much as possible. But that might be a lot. I mean, you are allowed to go to the bathroom. So you're allowed to go to the bathroom, but you're not allowed to stand up for any other reason. You can't walk around. So you have to sit the whole time unless you go to the bathroom.
That might actually help your game, but but it's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
But it was actually worse because in the last tournament, there were 3 rounds the first day. 3 rounds, and that, which is ridiculous, like 3 to 4 hours per round.
Yeah.
I mean, that is brutal. But I actually played the 3 rounds, and I got through it okay, which I'm surprised about, because that takes a lot of stamina,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I only once played 3 rounds in a day. I remember the 3rd round of the day, everyone was hanging pieces,
Yeah.
piece, and I won the game, which is ridiculous. But yeah, it's classical time control is not it's not apt for 3 rounds in a day, definitely.
Yeah, I actually trained physically for it. I lost 20 pounds for the tournament because I thought I needed as much endurance, and yeah, because I gained a lot of weight with COVID. So I was actually thinking about taking a tactical buy in round 2, so that I'd be nice and fresh for round 3 when my opponent is really tired. But I thought, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since I played in a tournament. I don't want to waste the opportunity. Yeah, to I don't want to just waste the. So I played every round. But,
That's cool. I'm really glad to hear that you have so much activity coming. Yeah, it's great.
I'm excited. I drew a 1700 in that tournament from a couple months ago, which was very good. I think I could be wrong, but I think the average center pawn loss was 7 on both sides. It was a Trumpowski. Yeah, it was a Trumpowski. But I missed a win. I missed a win in the end. It was a pawn endgame. Part of that was psychological because I was so happy to draw him because that's a pretty high rated player for me. And I was black, so I was pretty happy to draw. But I had a somewhat straightforward win in the end game. So I was a bit too happy to just secure the draw. I should have aimed for more.
Yeah, to me is if the position was balanced throughout the game, it's easy to miss that suddenly you have an opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks again. I don't know if we'll have another lesson before I go, but it doesn't matter. And I'll try to get some more classical games played. So, because I know I haven't played so many lately, but I'll try to get some more of those going.
Cool. And we're going to get fresh new games to analyze in any case.
Oh yeah, you get the premium stuff. You get the tournament stuff. Yeah. And I even record my move times on that too. So I'll input those. And I spent a very long time converting all of my past tournament games as an adult to ChessBase. Yeah, with
yeah, that
annotations and
is
everything.
great.
Yeah, that took a long time because I had them all in Lichess studies, and then I had to do it, and I couldn't import them. Yeah. So, anyways,
Oh,
those are all in ChessBase.
wow.
So when I finish the next tournament, I'll send those to you, and yeah,
Yeah, we're going to go through them.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
fresh new material.
Yeah, yeah. And it's been a while since you've seen one of my tournament games. Probably 2 years or
Oh,
something, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't even remember
It's
because
been a long
the
time.
last one we analyzed were from Lichess, I'm sure. I mean, it was the pandemic, so
Yeah, and I'm in the open section again. I'm in the premier section, so they're all going to be tough games.
that's even better. Yeah, you're going to get some 1700s, 1800s probably.
Well, yeah, first round should be about 1900, I think. Um, yeah, first round should be
That's
about,
great.
yeah. Yeah.
Keep in mind that they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to make mistakes that you can take advantage of.
Well,
So
that's the nice thing.
you need to believe that you can,
Yeah,
because
well,
you can.
yeah, and it's nice. It's nice not being at the top of the field because I don't have much to lose, so I can kind of feel more comfortable because the onus is all on my opponent now. Because they're going to be higher rated by like 400 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're top seed,
Too much pressure.
you don't get, yeah, you have the pressure and you don't have as many chances of improving. Here you're going to face stronger players, which is great for improving. And yeah, you haven't really no pressure. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
just hoping.
you can really enjoy playing chess.
Yeah, and my goal is just to gain 1 point in rating, at least 1 point, that or get one upset. That's always fun too. If I upset one player,
Yeah,
that's enjoyable. So
that's a good one.
yeah, yeah. So yeah. Thanks again for the lesson. And next time we talk, we'll have those tournament games to look at because I'm going in a few days. So that'll be cool. Yeah. Okay.
Well, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, just send me games when you have them. Keep me updated.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks again. Good to see you again.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.